Cooking with the Vegan Zombie! Hello and welcome to Cooking with the Vegan Zombie. Today we're going to make vegan stuffed shells. This was actually a favorite of mine when I was growing up, when I first went vegan. We're going to start with vegan cream cheese, a little bit of vegan sour cream, probably about 1/4 cup, about 2 cups of vegan meat. It's not real meat, it's fake meat because we're all vegan here. These 3 things we can get at like a Nature's Marketplace or a health food store. It's pretty easy to come by these days. In the last 10 years, just increasing in popularity. We're also going to need an onion, about a tablespoon of oregano, 2 teaspoons of thyme, and a teaspoon of basil. And don't forget extra virgin olive oil. And that should be it. Let's get started. You're going to start with about, I'd say a small onion, just a small yellow cooking onion. You're going to cut it up into a small dice, and you're going to sauté it first before you add the vegan meat. Dun, dun, dun. And our water is boiling, and it's time to cook our shells. There's about 25 shells in here. That's about 1 recipe's worth of shells for the stuffed shells. You just want to very carefully add them to the boiling water. You don't want them to break. Make sure they're all in there. You don't want them to stick to the bottom, so stir it every couple of minutes. And you don't want, the key is not to overcook it. You want it to be a little firm to the touch, because once you put it in the oven to bake for 20 minutes, that'll finish the cooking process. We're going to add the oil, saute the onions, and then add the vegan meat probably about 5 minutes afterwards, once they soften up a little bit. And you just take a little squirt, about 2 tablespoons, to a medium heated pan. Okay, the oil's ready. Will soften up for about 5 minutes. So next we're going to actually add our vegan meat to our sauteed onions. Stir it in there. You only need to stir it for a couple minutes. And then you just add your sour cream and cream cheese. Stir that in. Once it's mixed well enough, turn the heat down to low. Make sure you keep an eye on your shells too, because you don't want them to overcook and get too soft. You want it to be able to hold its shape, but actually open it up and stuff it. So that's actually perfect right there. So let's dump that out. Hit it with some cold water so it stops cooking. Hit it with cold water. Once you feel it cool down, you just set it aside, let it drain. And we'll be using them in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, once everything's all mixed up, we're going to add all of our herbs, oregano, basil, thyme, about a teaspoon of each, and a little salt, a little pepper. Make sure you stir it really well. Cook it for about 10 more minutes, just so that all the flavors blend really well, and then let it cool. Set it aside and let it cool. Cool? I'll set that guy aside. And then we can get started on our bruschetta. Bruschetta! A bruschetta! So we're going to roast some elephant garlic. A huge version of regular garlic. Boom. We're going to want to roast this in about 450-degree oven. And to do that, you just got to cut the tops off of each clove. And then place them in a little bit of tin foil. It kind of helps steam it, and it helps roast the garlic a lot quicker. Try to stand them up like as if they were all still together. It's a little bit harder to work with a head of elephant garlic versus a head of regular garlic, just because they're so massive, but it's really worth it, especially when it turns into almost like a paste when it's done. We're going to use this to spread onto our bruschetta, or the bread that we're going to use with our bruschetta. Take a little bit of olive oil, squirt it in there, get it all on top. Close the basket right up. And boom, pop it in the oven. About half hour, 40 minutes, and it'll be just like paste. Alright, so we're going to cut these filthy tomatoes into quarters. And we would like to remove the heart. Unlike the zombies where we want to remove the brain. This is the flesh of the tomato, and these are the hearts. Once all the seeds are removed, you're going to take the tomato and just kind of give it a nice fine dice. Doesn't need to be perfect if you're eating alone. I like to actually talk to my food when I'm cutting it up and call it names, like filthy hobbitses, or, you know, whatever. When I'm not out killing zombies, I'm chopping tomatoes, onions, peppers. Need a nice sharp knife. So obviously I don't hack zombies up with this one, because I need it for my veggies. You want to cut up about 4 tomatoes, makes about a cup, and that'll be perfect. We're going to add some red onion to our bruschetta mix. We're only going to use about half this onion, but we're going to cut it the same way we cut the yellow onion. Boom, just like that. And then peel the skin off. We don't want to be too much onion. We don't want to have bad breath for all the zombies that we're going to kill, huh? Lord knows they care about that. Perfect. I'm going to add that to the tomatoes, and we'll be set. Oh, you know what? I need to get some baguette. Sorry, I get something this big in my hands, and I feel like I'm holding onto my sawed-off shotgun. So if there's a grocery store that still has, you know, fresh baked bread out there, I recommend grabbing it. You want to slice it on the bias. That means diagonal. I actually happen to be the only vegan who survived the apocalypse in a 50-mile radius. Now we're gonna check the garlic. Slightly peel away to look at the insides. Oh yes. Oh, look at that. Let that cool for a second, and we'll put a little olive oil on our baguette. Throw that in the oven. We're gonna have a whole lot of food for nobody. Just a little squirt. That's what she said. We're only gonna want to toast it for about 5 minutes at 350 degrees. Time is running out. We're picking the basil leaves off. Ah! That should be good. Add that right to the mix. Pick your favorite sauce at the grocery store, or you can make it yourself. You need about 4 or 5 cups of it. And you're going to want to line the bottom of this baking pan. I'm sorry, glass ceramic. And then it's stuffing time. Really easy. Just take your shell, about a tablespoon of filling, and then line it in there. So this whole mixture that we made, the stuffing mixture, makes about 20 shells worth, but you might want to make a couple extra, 22, 25, just in case they break when you're dumping them in, or they overcook a little bit on the bottom or something. And if you have a preferred cheese, a vegan cheese that you like, you can put some shredded cheese on top so it melts. We're just gonna put some tin foil on it, pop it in the oven. Our bruschetta mix is all ready. Now we're just gonna take the garlic that we have roasted and mash it all up, make a nice little paste out of it so we can spread it on our toasted baguette. Just going to spread a little bit of this garlic paste on. You have a wonderful dinner for one. It's time to take out our stuffed shells. They should be about ready. Oh! 1, 4. Sprinkle a little bit of vegan cheese or a little bit of fresh basil. And that's about it. Well, that about wraps up our episode here. It took about an hour to make both of these. And if you like what you see, you can subscribe to our video on YouTube, or you can check us out at TheVeganZombie.com. Until then, keep it safe. It's starting to get dark out, so I'm going to turn off all the lights before I get eaten. Take it easy. The Vegan Zombie.